Welcome to another video. We're out here still at Staten Island Airfield. Today it is insanely hot, but today we just made and flighted this guy right here. It's been a minute since we talked about 3.5-inch drones, like last time when we talked about the Skylite, and I've decided to build up something new. This right here is a 3.5-inch frame from Oh My God. It is the Grinderino. It is the baby version of my main freestyle drone, the Bot Grinder's Demi-Bot, which is a tough as nails 5-inch freestyle drone. This guy looks to be a tough as nails 3.5-inch drone. Before I go up in the air and talk a little bit more about it, some of the things I want to point out on the build is, first of all, I am running an AIO in there. I'm running RC and Power 1506 motors. They're only 3000 kV. I did want the higher kV motors, but we'll see how they go for right now. I also have the Oh My God 16mm motors on order, so when they come in, those arrow lights, I'm gonna give them a whirl too, see how they fly. Running ELRS on the bottom, but overall, I just wanted to point out that the camera on the front is pretty tight if you're running an O3 air unit, so do be aware when you're selecting a flight stack or AIO, it is a little tight. Same goes out back. I maybe have a millimeter or two to spare, and right now I'm currently not running an antenna mount proper on the back. So just so you're aware, it is a tight build in there. It does fit. See, look, everything fits. All fits. Air unit, AIO, ELRS receiver, and even a little capacitor tucked up in that front spot. I will say the build overall feels great, super stiff and super strong. Like its big brother, it uses these giant, gigongous 6-inch standoffs, which make this thing look menacing and also feel super strong. The one thing I will say is the arms on this compared to the Skylite are way stiffer, way stronger, and also they're way easier to put in and out. The Skylite is a little fiddly when it comes to putting it together and the way the arms fit into the center, as well as the way the camera fits onto the front. Overall, super happy with this build. As far as the build process goes, I'm gonna fly it today. We're gonna talk about it a little bit in flight while I fly it, but I'm gonna revisit this quad in about like a month or so once I've put 20-30 batteries through it and see how she's holding up. So this is really just a first look and impressions of the drone. We're gonna dig into it a lot more in the next video. With a lot of my drone builds, I like to have a little sense of humor about it. So when you plug in the battery on this guy, the startup sound is... I don't think that counts as a Rick roll, but yes, Rick Astley's never gonna give it up. Perfect, I think, for the Grinderino. Okay, here we go. Got the little Grinderino up in the air. Woo! What I love about 3-inch drones is they are so light and... Sorry, got distracted by sounds on the roof of this little thing. See what the freak is up here. Oh, it's just a little birdie. Okay. I love how light and flickable 3-inch drones are. And because they're so light, they kind of have this unbelievable amount of hang time. So even when you're upside down, they really just hang out and float. So if you're trying to learn tricks, if you're trying to do some complicated maneuvers, it really gives you a lot of extra time, not just to think about the maneuver and kind of get through it, but it also lets you kind of sit and enjoy it. I love taking a 3.5-inch drone out to a park and just going for a little rip, because it's so much more discreet and quiet. I'll do a little flyby right here behind me. Meow. With a 5-inch, it's just so aggressive sounding and angry that it's hard to really like discreetly fly that. Pretty much everybody knows what's going on when you've got the 5-inch drone out and ripping. But here, if you're going out for just a little casual park session, or you want to go out for a little like parking lot night rip, I think 3.5s are kind of perfect. Oops, tagged that table a little bit. But overall, my first impressions, this is running stock Betaflight on the SpeedyBee F4 F745 flight controller. It's a 35 amp ESC, and overall it's feeling pretty good. There's a little bit of prop wash. Whoa. Okay, I forget that with the O3 air unit, especially right now where it's super high contrasty, it's really easy to miss stuff that kind of fades into the dark. Right there on the left of this gap, there's a branch, and right before I was headed right at it, but there I can see it. That's really something for a different video, but overall, I think this thing flies fantastic, and it's gonna be nice having the ability to pull the footage off in 4K, even with the props and the little points of the frame in view. I think overall this is a great setup for posting little like freestyle rips to social media. Don't have to put an extra action camera on it, so it's just one less bit of weight, one less bit of complication to going out and flying. So as far as something to go out for a casual little flight session in a park, yeah, big thumbs up so far on this Demibot. Definitely interested to see how it crashes. I'm not going to do that on purpose today, but I will report back in about a month or so and give kind of my updated thoughts once I've put a lot of batteries through, done a lot more freestyle ripping, and some interesting travel coming up. Hey, birds. Yeah, you're making some noise up here. My shitty New York accent. That's not a New York accent because I was not born here in New York. A little orbit. Yeah, it feels super stable, super locked in. Woo! I will not be the first to say, and I won't personally say it, this doesn't feel like a 5-inch because it just doesn't have quite the same weight, but at about 300 grams all up, this thing has very similar disc loading to a 5-inch quad, and so it does feel really good. It's not going to cope with wind as well, it's not going to be able to hit the biggest of the big lines, but I think if you want a freestyle drone that's small as like a park cruiser or something just to go out and have fun with, if you're looking to build up a drone, I would highly recommend taking a good long look at the Grinderino. Yeah, man, it flies fantastic. There we go. First flight, Demibot. Technically second flight. First flight was in the review for the DJI goggles too, but so far I've put 3 batteries through it, 1 6S, 2 4S batteries, and overall I think this build is fantastic. Motors are still pretty cool. It is 100 degrees out today, so like that's saying something. Not sure if I'm going to do much with the tune. So far it flies pretty good. May make some tweaks to it eventually, but as of right now, I think it flies fantastic. I'm just gonna go rip it, see how she goes. And I'm definitely gonna be running it both on 4S and 6S. It feels very good on 4S and it feels very light. On 6S, it is a little bit of a handful. It's pretty aggressive, it's pretty fast. And I think for some bigger freestyle lines, you could probably get away with flying this guy in places where I would have normally said a 5-inch was mandatory, but yeah. Bot Grinder, oh my god, you made a good one here. And this is my 3rd oh my god frame, and I will definitely say they know how to build a frame. They pay attention to detail so incredibly well, like the thickness of the standoffs, the way that they lay out the bottom plate, and the way they lay out the frame. Like all of the stack screws are accessible, and they also don't hinder taking the arms in and out when you're servicing the quad, which I think is incredibly good. But yeah. So I'm gonna stop gushing about this frame for now. I'm gonna go out and just fly it, see how she does. I'll catch you guys in the next video. As always, affiliate links are down below for everything I've talked about, including, actually not for the frame you can get on Oh My God's website, but everything else I can get affiliate links for, they're down below. Take a peek at them. And let me know, have you flown the Grinderino? Do you have a favorite 3-inch that I should also check out? Yeah, with all that said, I'll catch you in the next video. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.